I'm still C. Dahmer, and you fucks are watching Terror Reels.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Look, I know I said this episode was supposed to be Dead Alive. I fucking wanted it to be, and I was excited to cover it, but the copy I had on my PC had fucked up audio, and the Blu-ray is currently $100+, and I don't like you assholes enough to spend that type of money on a movie. There is talk that Shell Factory and Arrow might grab the license for it and put it back out for cheaper than $100 a copy. To make it up to you guys, I'm going to cover this gem of a movie with our boy Bruce Campbell called Bubba Ho-Tep. We open with a little cut to the past when a group of adventurers find the tomb and the sarcophagus that holds the body of King Amenhotep. Keep this in mind because I think we're going to need to remember that later. We cut to an old folks home in present-day Mud Creek, Texas. This is where we'll meet Elvis fucking Presley, played by Bruce fucking Campbell. If you were wondering what Elvis dreams about, well, here's a little glimpse into his mind.
Dreaming my dick was out and I was checking to see if that infected bump on the head of it had filled with pus again.
As his roommate dies, the king dives deeper into his introspective, how did I get old as fuck and can't get pussy anymore headspace. We flash over to this thieving bitch. At first she steals glasses from an old lady in a fucking iron lung, and then she steals in sweets from outside someone's door. Karma's gonna act fast here though. This weird bug crawls up her blanket, bites the fuck out of her. She thinks she's killed the bug with her cane. That bug shakes his head. Holy fucking shit, what is that? Elvis's dead roommate's daughter, Callie, played by Heidi Marnhout, comes in to throw away her dad's shit. Elvis wants her to give him a picture. The dude's fucking purple heart and a glimpse of that fine ass. Elvis gets some ideas, but he realizes ideas are all he has anymore since his dick don't work.
Of course, these days, even a flutter was kind of reassuring.
They talk about how Callie is a shitty daughter, and Elvis is curious if his daughter would visit if she knew he was still alive. Here we meet this funny as fuck nurse played by Ella Joyce. She doesn't believe that Elvis' story that he's actually Elvis, and she just thinks he's dumb as fuck after the coma he went into after falling off the stage. We cut to a flashback of Elvis going to meet the impersonator Sebastian Haff, still played by Bruce fucking Campbell. Sebastian kisses the king's ring before he was gonna suck his dick. Little did the crew know that Elvis and Sebastian switched places. The king was done with the life of drug, sex, rock and roll like a fucking idiot. The only proof they had of this switch was a contract they signed, until Elvis lost the contract in a white trash trailer grill explosion, and then there goes all the proof. Here's where we meet Elvis's best friend in the old folks home, Jack, played by Ossie Davis. Jack has a scar in the back of his head. Oh, and Jack also believes that he's John fucking Kennedy. I know what you're thinking. JFK's a white man and had his head blown off. Well,
that's how clever they are. They dyed me this color, all over. Can you think of a better way to hide the truth than that?
Elvis wakes up from the dream, and while he's taking a piss, the tin of chocolates has been knocked on the floor. He lifts up the container to see that big fucking bug from before. This bug leaps at his face and knocks him on his old feeble ass. He goes to Elvis through this bug and grabs a spoon. The bug goes in for attack, but Elvis catches the bug in a bedpan. Of course it escapes and knocks him on his ass again. This time he grabs a proper utensil and stabs the bug and cooks it in the space heater.
Never fuck with the king.
He yells out for help for the bug problem, but he ends up in JFK's room. Oh shit, JFK's down. Hopefully someone grabbed footage of this assassination that we can study and yell in the streets about for the next 100 years. Phew, that footage must have been fake, because Mr. Kennedy is just fine. He's on the ground because he's old as fuck and just fell asleep there. Or did he?
Hey, man. You're on the floor.
No shit. Who are you?
The nurse comes in and rubs some cortisol steroids on Elvis's inflamed girth on his dick. I guess the rush he got from fighting off the bug and seeing his dead roommate's daughter's ass sparked some life into him, and not just some typical day-by-day old person bullshit.
There have been 2 presidential elections since I had a boner like that one.
He's super proud of his boner. At dinner time, this cowboy named Kimosabe, played by Larry Pennell, thinks he's being ambushed near a bridge. This old folks home fucking rules. Later that night, Kenny wakes Elvis up to tell him that whatever the fuck they heard last night is loose. Kenny thought it was Lyndon Johnson, but I guess he was wrong. Who would have thought? Kenny drops this bomb on Elvis.
Listen here. Listen. I know you're Elvis.
But he also wants Elvis to swear he had nothing to do with that little incident in Dallas, and that he didn't know Oswald and he didn't know Jack Ruby. They venture off to see what the noise is. They go into communal bathroom, and Kennedy leads them into the shitter.
I mean, we're investigating a sculling in the hall, trying to figure out who attacked you last night. You bring me in here to look at stick pictures on the shithouse wall, man?
Those just aren't stick figures, those are fucking Egyptian hieroglyphics. Kennedy saw these last night, so he translated them and lets Elvis in on what they say.
Pharaoh gobbles donkey goobers. And the bottom line, Cleopatra does the nasty.
Kenny says whatever got him last night put him on the floor and put his mouth on his asshole, but he's probably not a shit eater. He's really after Kennedy's soul. Elvis is reading a book about souls as JFK makes something to drink in his miniature of when he got shot in the head. They figure out there's an Egyptian soul-stealing butt sucker, and if he keeps feeding on these elderly souls, he could come back from the dead.
He eats souls, so I assumed that he would crap soul residue.
Their meeting of the minds gets interrupted by more of that noise, and Elvis goes to investigate. That's when Elvis sees a mummy cowboy piece of shit sucking fuck. The lights flicker and explode as Bubba Ho-Tep, played by Bob Ivy, walks toward Elvis. Look, I know you need a walker to get around, but you need to get the fuck out of here. Ho-Tep makes his way to Elvis and stares him in the eyes, and Elvis starts to see a vision of Bubba when he was mummified alive. Bubba Ho-Tep just walks away. Out of nowhere, Kemosabe comes strapped and is ready to save the day. I guess those toy guns aren't shit because Bubba Ho-Tep keeps on walking. Kemosabe drops dead from a ruptured heart. Rest in peace, Kemosabe. He went down guns blazing, and he also got to keep his soul. The old folks' home staff wants to know what the fuck happened, but they figured the staff wouldn't believe Elvis and John F. Kennedy about a mummy ass eater roaming the halls. The next scene, we see how you're not supposed to handle a dead body. With all this newfound excitement and a purpose for Elvis, he's starting to feel alive again. He even goes outside to smell the flowers. The nurse comes out and tries to get him to come back in because she thinks he's still an old, feeble fuck, but he ain't gonna have none of that.
You treat me like a baby again, I'll wrap this goddamn walker right around your head.
Elvis decides to take a stroll down to this river and somehow doesn't eat shit going down this fucking hill. He does stumble upon a clue though. He finds an old license plate in the river. Wait a minute, that ambush that Kemosabe was yammering about in the dinner hall? Starting to make sense now. It has to be connected. Back at the old folks' home, Kennedy brings some information to Elvis about this Bubba Ho-Tep mummy. There was a mummy exhibit traveling the country going from museum to museum. Well, when it got to Texas, somebody broke into the museum and stole that mummy and hoping to hold it for a ransom. Honestly, this doesn't seem like that bad of a crime. When they drove off with the mummy in this silver bus, it gets washed away due to a massive storm. The coffin he was encased in broke, and Ho-Tep was free to eat butt soul. They figure he's a night owl, so they go to bed so they can fight in the night.
Comes in here tonight, I don't want him slapping his lips on my asshole.
But neither of them could go to bed. Elvis hype talks himself up and calls the Kennedy's room, who has a red phone. Elvis gives Kennedy a little pep talk.
Mr. Kennedy, ask not what your rest home can do for you. Ask what you can do for your rest home.
They're ready to kick some fucking mummy ass. Night falls, and they double check their supplies. Rum and alcohol, a sprayer, some matches, a cigarette lighter. That's right, they're gonna fucking light this mummy on fire. But first, they need their armor.
Big check on that, baby.
Kennedy also thought it would be a good idea to write each of them a magic spell. Seems like a pretty good idea. They synchronize their watches and off they go to kick some fucking ass. After a heartfelt moment talking about their children and a good luck stogie, they begin to split up. But first, Elvis has a very important question.
Marilyn Monroe? What's she like in a sack?
Out in the field, Elvis sees Bubba Ho-Tep and starts pumping up the flamethrower. But this mummy disappears. Where the fuck did he go? Oh fuck, Kennedy fell asleep. You know you can't be doing that or your soul will get sucked through your balloon knot. Ho-Tep creeps up behind Elvis and they start tussling. Mummy gets a few good hits in before knocking Elvis on his ass. This pisses Elvis off though.
Don't make me use my stuff on you, baby.
Kennedy rolls up behind Bubba Ho-Tep, so Ho-Tep just walks away and vanishes behind this tree. What a pussy. Elvis wheels around trying to lure Bubba Ho-Tep out, and it works, and Bubba slaps Kennedy out of his wheelchair. The wheelchair rolls over to Ellis all by itself as Kennedy tries to keep the mummy out of his asshole. The wheelchair scoops Elvis up and drives him to Kennedy. He whistles for the undead sack of shit. After speaking some Egyptian shit talk to Elvis, Elvis sprays him with the canister and tosses a lighter on him. Not exactly a flamethrower, but pretty much what these old fucks can handle. Elvis checks up on President Kennedy, and Kennedy hands Elvis a magic saying before dying. Rest easy, Mr. President.
Mr. President?
Elvis recites a magic spell, and it's complete bullshit. It's just talking to the mummy. No way this is from a book of spells, and Bruce Campbell knows all about books of spells. Bubba Ho-Tep rises up and talks a little bit more shit to Elvis. Elvis peels some tires on the grass in the wheelchair and runs into Bubba Ho-Tep before they go to fisticuffs. Remember that hill from earlier? They go flying down it and Elvis gets fucked up. Bubba starts choking the shit out of Elvis, bashing him in the head with a stick. In the last-ditch effort, Elvis grabbed the plunger from the flamethrower, letting all the rubbing alcohol and gas spill everywhere before punching the mummy right in the face and lighting him on fire again.
Your soul-sucking days are over, amigo.
The mummy burns and falls apart in the river, and there we have it. Once again, Bruce Campbell saves the world from an evil force. Anybody thank Elvis this time? Fuck no. The king saved the planet. He should at least gotten his dick sucked, but in the end, he just ends up fucking dying anyways. I hope you enjoyed this review of this awesome gem of a movie, Bubba Ho-Tep, released in 2002, directed and written by Don Coscarelli. And I know this isn't a typical horror movie I would review on here, but it's Bruce fucking Campbell fighting a monster. Bruce Campbell is a fucking icon in our horror world, and if you can't get down with that, you need to get the fuck out of here. Don't worry, we will be covering more Bruce Campbell movies in the future, but not in the next episode. The next episode, I'll be reviewing one of my favorite horror movies, John Carpenter's The Thing. You don't want to miss that shit.